Hartpury defensively. Well, of course, our focus is down here on Hartpury versus Northumbria, but we have a full ticket of games today. 5 fixtures across the day with a couple of early kickoffs, and a result that is just in. Bath have beaten Nottingham Trent at Lady Bay 37 points to 19, picking up a bonus point in the process and leapfrogging to first in the table, while the 5 p.m. kickoff at Untitled is Cardiff 8, Exeter 14 on the last check. Of course, we're kicking off here at 6:30, but elsewhere Cardiff Met take on Leeds Beckett at Kincoid, and Durham will be looking to bounce back against their purple rivals Loughborough at Hollow Drift. The table at the moment, it's a congested one. First play 4 tonight, but only a few points separate first from 9th, with Cardiff the bottom dwellers. Points mean prizes in this league, and notably bonus points, so each team will be looking to come away with all 5. But with all these fixtures taking place this evening, we're probably in for a league table shake-up. Now, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it a million times. This is the most thrilling league in the country, but it takes a lot of people to make it that great. And one of our sponsors, Yoti, has been at the forefront of its success over the last 2 years. So here's a little message from them.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around all night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all the stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
Great to hear from our sponsors, Yoti there, who've been backing us all the way, but it also gives us a last opportunity to talk about tonight's game. What way is it going to go, Ben? And try and be unbiased in this.
That's quite hard, to be honest, but to be obviously going off our performance last time we played Northumbria up their place, they look really, really dangerous. So for us, the way we've been playing as well the last 2 weeks, I would like to say us, and I should say us, and I am going to say us, but let's hope it's a good battle.
Excellent stuff. Great to hear from Ben there. But how about we listen to the coaches now while we dive up to the commentary box and get ready for the game. Sean, great to see you as always. Now, you put in a pretty complete performance last week against Durham. Was it perfect, or is there still room for improvement?
I think there's always room for improvement, but no, definitely going up to Durham, and the boys put in a good 80-minute slog. Attacked well and defended really well as well, so we're very happy with that.
So more of the same, but the start of this season is a marked difference to last year. You had a terrible run at the start, but you're looking good this year. What's been the difference?
I just think we got affected by injuries, and the boys have learnt a lot from last year, and they've taken a good leadership role, and it's come within, and Will Crane is a big influence on that.
You mentioned Will Crane. You lost some big leaders like Tom Pashley last year. Who else has stepped up to that for that lieutenant role?
You go Will Crane, and then you had Harry Wilson, who's been brilliant with it, and Nick Carpenter has been outstanding. He's injured, but he's really taken a good lead with the boys as well.
We've got to talk about the opposition. Those guys can score from anywhere. How do you defend against them?
Well, I'm hoping tonight we'll be able to. It's just about try not giving them too much space. But these boys, you've got to give it credit to them. They'll attack from anywhere, and they're deadly with it.
And you lost to Leeds Beckett at home. I know you won against Loughborough next time round, but you'll be looking to make Gilman's Ground a bit more of a fortress, I'm sure. Yeah,
definitely. And full credit to Leeds. They came down here with a big physical pack, and they did a job on us. Can't take nothing away from that, and it is something that we're looking forward to playing at the Gilman's Ground.
And aspirations this season, 3 on the trot?
It'd be nice. We're not looking at that yet. It would be nice. It's always a great day going to Twickenham, but we're just focusing on this one today and then a week off, which will be a well-earned rest.
Good stuff. Looking forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Hi, Dazza. Good to see you. You've just arrived. A long old journey from the north. Do these away games, do you find quite difficult to keep the boys switched on all the way up till kick-off?
They're obviously difficult because it's a long way. It's the same for every team when they travel up to us or we travel down to them. But yeah, we're sort of used to it now. We're 3 years into it. Don't make it easier, but we've looked at ways to make it a bit better for the lads.
Okay, you're coming off the back of a win against a very good side, Cardiff Met. You were very, very dominant in the first half and maybe should have scored more points. Is that a worry that you haven't been converting those opportunities?
I wouldn't say it's a worry. It's just something that needed to be addressed. It has been this week, and at times we looked brilliant. At times we looked not so good. But I wouldn't say it's a worry, but it's something we have addressed in the meeting on Monday.
And the team you're playing tonight, Hartpury, you only played each other 26 days ago. What have you learnt about yourselves in that short period of time?
There's quite a few things, to be honest with you. I mean, I've learned that Hartpury have found a bit of form, but they went really well last week. We've just, like every team, you just try and get better and better as the weeks go on. You've got more time playing, you've got a few people back from injury. So yeah, I wouldn't say we've learnt great deals. We've got better at some stuff, and we still need to get better at other stuff.
You're missing a couple of key players tonight, Ed Bloodworth and George Wakoki. Big shoes to fill. Who's stepping into them?
Yeah, we've got experience in there. So we've got Lewis Berg starts at 13. Berg is a good player. And then we've got Alan Gregory, who comes in at the second row for his first start this year. And it's a big opportunity for them to put their hands up and force their way into the squad. But we've got, on the flip side, Ollie Robinson's back on the bench for the first time this season. He's our captain. He was a quality player for us last year, so he can get a bit of game time tonight.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about Ollie Robinson. He was BUCS Super Rugby Player of the Season last year. What does he bring that you guys have been missing?
He brings a lot, does Ollie. He's a cracking lad. He's a really good lad. Sort of behind the scenes, he's been integral to the start of this season, even though he's not been really playing. And we know what quality he can bring. He's probably going to be a bit rusty. He's been out for a long time, but he's a quality player and he's a top lad. So he's massive for us.
And absolutely buzzing by the looks of things when I just saw him. Thank you, Dazza, and good luck. So welcome everybody to Gilman's Ground. You just heard from the coaches there. We are primed for an absolute thriller tonight. Two of the best teams in the league. It is just 26 days since these two faced each other, and since then Hartpury have fallen to Beckett at home but begun to send shivers down the spine of the league with a commanding win over Loughborough and Durham. 8 tries they scored in all, with 3 of them coming from the man standing in my co-com's boots tonight, Toby Venner. He'll be looking to provide quick service to the masterful Nathan Chamberlain, who will want to get the ball into the hands of the man we are going to speak about in a second, the Belgian cult hero of the Swerve, Murick, wearing the 14 jersey. The forwards charged with delivering that rapid ball are teeming with championship experience, notably Harry Wilson, who's crossed the paint 5 times this season already, including a brace against these opponents in round 2. The visitors, Northumbria, meanwhile, have enjoyed 1 win, 1 loss and 1 rest week since then. The loss came in the form of a reality check dished out down in Devon by last year's champions Exeter, but a tight win against Met 5 days ago has thrown them back on track. The twin pillars of ever-present George Williams and Jamie Ross at prop will be scrummaging to provide their dynamic back row of Fantini, Brown and last week's man of the match, George Bordell, the platform to wreak havoc at the break down for their much vaunted backs to play up. Creative genius and fortnight supremo Josh Bragman continues his return from injury, and he'll be looking to cast a spell on his backline that include the Wizards of Wyth, Rory Howarth, Josh Rudling and Josh Hodge, who is lethal from the tee with a 100% record so far this season. The benches couldn't be more contrasting, with no less than 4 debutants for the visitors, but this is tempered by the return of their talisman, Ollie Robinson. Hartpury, however, can call upon the experience of devastating runners, Elias Caven and Akil Smith. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ben George, injured for this match but integral to the Hartpury cause. He's going to help us with some inside knowledge and call the game for us. You've got to be looking forward to this one.
Oh yeah, for sure I am. I think it's always good down here at the Gilman's Ground on a Wednesday night, and to play a team like Northumbria as well is just absolutely amazing atmosphere.
Yeah, I was talking to Sean Lynn before the game, and he was saying how pleased he is with the culture that is being created here for you guys at Hartpury, that it's not just about the first team, it's the 2s, it's the 3s, it's the whole club.
Oh yeah, for sure. The you know, it's not just university rugby here. This is now, and it has been for the last few years, a massive rugby club, and you know, you can see this evening massive support. The seconds and thirds were at home today, so they've all come out in all their fancy dress gear for Halloween to support the boys.
Okay, let's talk a bit about some of the players on show tonight, and I mentioned him in the build-up there. Swerving Irvin Murick, talk to me about this threat on the wing.
Oh well, He's on the team sheet on the wing, but he's never really there during the game. He's all over the place. But yeah, the guy's a one-man wrecking ball, and he is a very big threat to the defences.
So hungry for work the whole time, cropping up left, right and centre. I mean, is that good or is it bad?
Well, take it as you want, you know. It keeps the defences guessing, really, and that's exactly what we want to do, keep the defences honest.
Exactly. He's a bit of a magician out there, but you're a pretty settled side in comparison to last year. There was a lot of chopping and changing at the start of the year last year, which probably led to some of those losses. Who are some of the other guys, mainly in the forwards, that we should be looking out for?
Well, I think our talisman at tight head, Alex Gibson, I think he's very crucial in the scrum and in general play, really. He's a senior member of the squad, obviously being involved last year and the year before, so he is a pivotal role in our side as well.
Yeah, he's nicknamed the Cornerstone, am I right in saying that?
Yes, that's correct. Our coach, Chris Forty, did once call him the Cornerstone, and it's stuck ever since.
So he's getting a bit of heat from the boys for being the coach's pet.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
I mentioned Northumbria's back row, who are very talented, but you've got some really special players in yours. I'm thinking about Will Hartpury, who's been plying his trade over in New Zealand for a while.
Oh yeah, you know, he's learned, I can only assume he's learned a lot, and he's brought a lot to us from overseas, you know, a lot of knowledge, and you know, he's a very stable player, and he's very good at what he does, and to be honest, he's a very crucial player in our team as well.
Now, I saw you greeting some of the Northumbria players there, so it's not going to be all Hartpury we're talking about this evening. Who do you like the look of from the opposition?
Well, obviously, you've mentioned him already, Josh Bragman. He's back fit, back to his normal ways, throwing the ball around, playing exciting rugby, so that's one thing I'm very looking forward to seeing, and obviously he was involved with the students last year, so he's a lot of pressure on him this year.
Do you think that they sometimes get an unfair rep of just being show ponies who throw the ball around? I think their substance can sometimes be overlooked with regards to their structure and their foreplay. They're much more than just a team that throws it in the air and hopes for the best, aren't they?
Oh no, exactly that, and it proved when we went up to their place, and you know, they're not that high in the league just because they throw the ball around. You know, the structure's there, and they are a very good side, and they're very hard to defend against.
What lessons did you learn from that loss against Northumbria up at Kingston Park? 38-35 you went down. What things have you been talking about this week as a team?
Well, I've said it already, obviously they like to throw the ball around, they like to play, but we've also taken into account that, you know, if they do have to stick it up their jumper, and play the hard yards rugby, then you know, they really are a team that we need to watch, because they're not just throw the ball around, like I said, they are very, very, very good at the nitty-gritty.
Two complete teams here down at Gilman's ground this evening as the boys run out through the traditional Guard of Honour here at Gilman's ground. There's a real buzz in the ground tonight. I mentioned the loss against Leeds Beckett earlier in the season, but they've come back and they've re-stamped their mark on their home territory with an easy win against Loughborough, and then what a win it was last week against Durham, as we see the ball in the hands of Nathan Chamberlain, poised for the kickoff, waiting for the referee's say so. Northumbria, of course, playing in their traditional black, and Hartpury in their famous red, that red that has hoisted the BSR trophy 2 consecutive years, as Chamberlain sends it high into the onyx black sky, and there's confusion immediately for the men in black, but it's eventually mopped up and into the hands of former Leeds Beckett scrum half James Elliott, who's been some signing for them this year. I say signing, he's moved for educational reasons, but it does feel like a new signing when you get a player of that quality, as Josh Bragman puts it on the toe nice and early here to test the back three, and there's a carry straight from the get-go from Jack Johnson, the second year really coming to the fore. He's former Tigers Academy, and there's actually a great story that his granddad comes down after every training session on a Monday and does an hour's extras with him.
Oh yeah, that is definitely true. Sometimes he's even there on a Tuesday for a team run, but no, he even sticks around sometimes and goes to the university library with him and walks through and talks him through what he did wrong and what he did right during training as well.
Bit of a legend, old Bob, as the ball is turned over and it's the first opportunity to see Northumbria attack, and they put it through the hands. Some footwork there on the left wing from number 11, Rory Howarth. He's plied his trade at full-back all of last year, but such is the form of Josh Hodge. Howarth finds himself on the wing, but he'll be able to handle that, the former Scotland 20s player. And it's quite tight stuff at the moment from the men in black. Elliott just calling the shots, wearing the 21 jersey. Maybe that's a late change. We'll find out as the game progresses, and it's into the hands there nice and early to that man.
Swervin Irvin.
Swervin Irvin Murick, the Belgian international. He switched jerseys, meant to be in the 14. He's wearing 11 just to confuse me, but I've seen so many highlights reels now that the guy is unmistakable. As Hartpury go on attack down the left-hand side, they get a bit of purchase through Jack Johnson there.
Jack Johnson has been pivotal this year for us at the full-back. He's really sharp, looking really sharp, really taking the ball to the lines real well.
But a big carry in the middle there. Luke Boone, the ex-Blackheath man, taking a big heavy carry, going a bit route one, but there's some lovely footwork there from Joe Margits. He's new into the team and really making a mark. They've struggled with the inside centre jersey so far, but is he going to make the jersey his own tonight? Certainly with play like that. He's putting his hand up for selection on a consistent basis, but the ball spills forward in the following play, and it's quite an open start, I'd say, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think that the ball hasn't been out of play since the game started. You know, it's a good 2.5 minutes. Boys definitely be feeling that now. Have a nice little break now at the scrum.
A bit of a blow, but you guys are pretty fit. I mean, this is a sporting emporium here. What's it like to train, be educated, and learn your rugby here at Hartpury?
Oh, it's amazing to be honest with you. You know, there's not many places where you can come play top flight rugby for university, and on the weekend with the championship side with opportunities there, and also you know with the university side of it, it's massive for everyone, and it really works for all the boys here.
So the first scrum of the game, and it's a solid one from both sides. Maybe a little nudge there from Hartpury as James Elliott gets the ball out. Bragman goes out the back door. Oh, but it's a swinging clothesline. No malice in there. Probably just a little bit lazy, and he gets away with only a penalty. That could have been damaging to pick up a yellow card so early, but that's an early glimpse into the footwork that Josh Hodge has got on him. He's found fame in the BUCS Super Rugby League for his metronomic goal kicking, 100% kicking record, 13 points last week. But the boy can move as well when he finds a bit of open space, and his footwork fooled the man we were speaking about a moment ago, Joe Margits. And Northumbria find themselves just in between the 22 and the 10-metre line with their first line out of the game. They've got a new second row in the form of Alan Gregory here, but they pouch it nicely, and it goes out into the centre, and it's a fumble. A little bit of a dying pass there from the scrum half, not helping his runner. Disappointing to pick up that error when they had their first opportunity to be attacking in red territory.
Yeah, it looked like they had good ball off the line out as well. You know, it's pretty. You know, when you're stuck in that middle part of the pitch, it is quite hard to get good clean ball as well. But you know, it's errors, and now we're going to look at the first scrum here.
Yes, so the first scrum on Hartpury's ball. The ball in the hands of Toby Venner, who picked up a try last week. He picked up 3 tries last week, 4 in total. The first hat-trick for Toby Venner, and they carry from the base, and Venner's on the burst. He's going to look for the offload, going wide, and there's that man of the swerve. He gets some more yards, some good counter-rucking to try and spoil proceedings from the men in black there, but Hartpury find a way to get it out, but the pass goes astray, mopped up by Robbie Smith. He's one of the senior members of this side, picking up a man of the match last week, and the leg drive pumping like pistons gets a bit of go forward as they go wide to the left wing into the hands of Dwayne Burrows. He's dealt with by Josh Hodge. A mean tackle there on that left wing, and they go a bit of route one, a bit of continuity. Venner marshalling his forwards around, and they find a heavy carry in the shape of Harry Wilson there in the middle. Takes 2 men to drag him down. But Venner's shorn of options there. He goes wide, but Rudling, the unmistakable Rudling, is up to scythe down his opposite man. But it's good continuity from Hartpury at the moment, although they're not really going anywhere. Some good line speed from Northumbria. And Hartpury are going to look to go wide once again, straight away into the hands of Harry Holland, one of the back row men from Westcombe Park. He classed himself as just chasing an egg and a dream around the park, according to that man, Harry Holland. Well, his carry has earned Hartpury a penalty, and surely Nathan Chamberlain is going to split the poles from this one.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. You know, he's been very good off the tee so far this season. I think as well, take a couple of minutes out of the game, everyone's sucking in like same as before. The ball's in play very long time there, so hopefully knock this over, get the 3 points and get a good clean exit.
And when the ball is in play for such extended periods of time, that's when fitness really comes in, because under fatigue, that's when skill execution drops.
Yeah, exactly, you know, and that's where the best teams really show that they're the best, you know, when their skills under fatigue are a step above the others, you know.
So Nathan Chamberlain lines this one up for his first kick of the game in round 6 of BUCS Super Rugby, brought to you by Yoti. The crowd go into a deathly silence. And you could hear a pin drop until someone shouted from the stands, he's the best kicker in the league. A sensational kick to start things off for Hartpury here. 3-0 up with nearly 8 minutes played, and that is going to be a confidence booster from your man pulling the strings at 10, Ben.
Oh, for sure. You know, it'll be a big confidence boost for the whole team, you know. 3 points up, 7 minutes in. Let's have a good clean take of this restart now and play in the right areas.
Yeah, the famous restart, the time when teams are most vulnerable, as Josh Bragman sends it long just on the outskirts of the 22, and that is a fantastic chase and hit from Josh Rudling, who wrestles Irvin Murick into touch. And this is game on for Northumbria here. A great attacking opportunity. Their first line out was crisp and as clear as the night we're enjoying here down in Gloucestershire. And they'll want more of the same, with an opportunity to release the backs, although it's overthrown as Angus Soughton clears up the mess. And they go wide with an opportunity to counter-attack. Boom! Robbie Smith sits down his opposite number, and the crowd love it. But is that an intentional knockdown? It looked like he'd motioned to hit it up. The referee hasn't blown for it immediately. It's definitely penalty advantage. And what can Hartpury do with this free play? Well, the answer is nothing, and the referee takes it back. He deems that no further action is required. But maybe a timely intervention as they managed to get behind the Northumbria defence with a massive carry from Robbie Smith.
Yeah, you know, we could hear it from here. Big collision there, and he's even managed to carry on through the tackle and make a good few extra yards as well. The man's a machine.
Yeah, one of the senior players here who's on the bench versus Bedford in the championship last year, and while touch is missed, it gives Northumbria an opportunity to attack from deep, something that they dine out on daily and nightly. But they're side down and they're just outside the halfway line, looking to build some phases, get some of that continuity we've spoken of. But it goes a little bit behind the runner. But Josh Rudling, who's been impressive so far in these opening salvos, takes a carry, this time not defending but on the offense. And it's slowed down a little bit. James Elliott marshalling his troops. It's out the back again, but Hartpury read it very well. But God, that's well dealt with by Rory Howarth. Coming inside, beating a few men. And Northumbria, while they still have the ball, they're probably 10 metres further back from where they first started, as Robbie Smith once again reintroduces himself to the Northumbria backline with a crunching hit. And he started in rude health, and Northumbria going nowhere. Surely it's time to put it on the boot, but it's a carry through the middle. Surprisingly splitting the defence from their prop, who finds support, but the pass goes astray. A great bit of opportunistic work from George Williams there. He found Jamie Ross on his outside supporting. He probably saw the blonde locks and hoped and prayed it would be Josh Hodge, but unfortunately it was his front row partner who throws a wild one, and the move breaks down, but Northumbria retain the ball. Exciting stuff there, Ben.
Oh, for sure. Looks like they're going for the corner here as well. Very confident play, especially with the fullback here with such good accuracy off the tee as well.
Well, wow, he has sent that millimetres from the corner flag. What a kick from Josh Hodge. Nerveless stuff from the young fullback. And this is an ideal platform for the Northumbria forwards to either catch and drive or get a crisp one off the top and release those backs, those much vaunted backs that everybody talks about in the league. It was an overthrow last time. Will they go safe and go to their banker ball at number 2? Let's find out. There's a bit of movement. It's going to number 4. The lift is good and they've set nicely, but they break early and the defence is napping. They're 2 metres out, Northumbria. Furrowing for the ball. They go for another short carry, but the defence is there to handle them. 1 metre short now. All the forwards are clustered around it like bees round honey, and James Elliott's nowhere there. He's telling his forwards to go and do the dirty work for them as they carry short again, but repelled once again by the red wall, and they're held up just short. And a bit of a glimpse of what the forwards can do there, but great defence from Hartpury.
Oh yeah, it's, you know, that far out, you just got to put your body on the line there. Great defence, great work from Northumbria as well, you know, faking a drive. You would never expect that, and they really caught us off guard there.
Bit of ingenuity there. It's brains as well as brawn from the forward pack as we have a little break for an injury to a Hartpury player. It's Angus Soughton, who is one of the big characters of Hartpury RFC and Hartpury Rugby, isn't he, Ben?
Yeah, for sure. He's got a famous, well, I say famous, he's famous at Hartpury. His Twitter bio, I'm not sure what it is. I think I can
tell you exactly what it is. According to Angus himself, he's the assistant hydration manager at Hartpury Rugby, a bang average cricketer, but a member of the Hole-in-One Club. Quite a CV.
Yeah, speaks for itself, really. He speaks volumes. The man's a massive character for the side here at Hartpury, and just a massive character around the university as well.
Another man who was on the bench for the championship game against Bedford, which you guys had an opportunity to win, but the last-minute kick from Sam Leeming just missing by a whisker.
I know. It was very unlucky, to be honest. I feel, you know, he got quite unlucky that one, because I know the kick just beforehand he slotted from the touchline, so he's feeling very confident. But it's one of those. That's what rugby is.
That is what rugby is, just a game of fine margins. Don't be scared of the mic there. Nearly had a little bit of a meltdown on me there, Ben.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, guys.
That's all right, that's all right. I'm sure that you're going to grow into the role very, very nicely. As Angus Soughton is still down for a bit of treatment here. Hartpury won't want to lose this man. Big character, a big presence in the forward pack, as Ben was saying, and championship experience. That championship experience that is really coursing through the veins of this side. I mentioned a number of players who've been involved last weekend or the weekend before, as Angus Soughton leaves the field. Sad to see, but Hartpury need to regather their thoughts, because Northumbria are on the tack with an attacking scrum 5 metres out. The ball in James Elliott's hands. The little maestro. And he goes to the back with the scrum in retreat. Toby Venner comes round to try and spoil it. Josh Bragman throws a wide one and it slips from the grasp of Rory Howard when it looked like the opportunity to burst through the gap was begging, and that's a bit of a let-off for Hartpury there.
Oh, for sure, but you know, that all started from a dominant scrum from Hartpury's point of view. You know, it's so hard to get that ball, good clean ball out the back of a scrum when you're going backwards. Once again, it's the talisman, the cornerstone, that is Alex Gibson working his magic in the scrum there.
Well, you guys had a bit of a long night at the office when you played Leeds Beckett at home. You were on the march back for the whole game. What changes have you made to make yourself dominant again?
In terms of personnel, there hasn't been any changes. I think we've had a long hard look at we've done a lot of analysis, a long hard look at the games, and we've just realised, you know, to be honest, I'm not one to talk about scrums and things like that, but all I know is we've been told to push as one.
To push as one, and push as one is just what Northumbria have done there. The scrum being spoiled, wheeling round, and the ball is going to Northumbria. The referee's arm in the direction of the team in black, and they get a second bite at the cherry to try and convert this pressure. Crucial pressure playing away from home as first play fourth here. They had a chance after the last scrum, despite it retreating at a rate of knots. They need their handling to improve. Very rare to see these silky backs shell catches with such regularity, but it is a frosty one down here. As the ball goes in, Elliott goes, and George Borderell, last week's man of the match as we spoke, he carries, and there's front foot momentum. The Hartpury defence is at 6s and 7s. They go for a short carry with a forward in the middle. Referee calls a tackle. It's in the hands of Elliott, who finds one of his runners, Jamie Ross, who was involved in the initial break that got the play up here. George Borderell's up again. He carries, pumping those pistons, driving him to the line as they're 4 meters out. Yari Fantini runs the dummy line, and Borderell's on the ball again. The Northumbria line looking very flat as Bragman marshals it. It's going to be a forward carry, a pick and go, driving towards that post. Such is the tactic that we're seeing more and more in the modern game. They go for another carry there, but strong defence as Northumbria try and crawl their way to the line. It's another carry, carrying as a block, but the referee calls offside. A bit of indiscipline at the back foot, which is understandable from Pury because they were really under the cosh there. As Northumbria were building the phases nicely, and the ball has been dotted down by Josh Hodge. He's called for the tee. And I don't think there's a hope in Halloween Hell that he's going to miss this one, Ben. Oh, no, not a chance. I think it's a good option from Northumbria. They've been down in Hartpury's 22 for quite a while now. Knock this over, which I'm 100% sure he will. And then get the scoreboard level, and then regroup from there. Do you think the Hartpury will be pleased to come away from this period with just conceding 3 points? Yes, you know, going off, we've had 2 defensive scrums, 2 defensive lineouts. I feel, you know, to come away with just 3 points there is a positive for us. Hartpury, sorry. So Ben and I both bet our non-existent mortgages on that kick going over, and Josh Hodge has delivered for us, and we are 3 points apiece in this BUCS Super Rugby Round 6 fixture, brought to you by Yoti. Nearly a quarter of the game gone. A kick from Nathan Chamberlain being cancelled out by Josh Hodge here in this tight affair. A little bit cagey at the start, but we're off again. That one going long into the 22, and Northumbria are going to kick their way out, looking for a solid touch. And that's nice stuff from Northumbria's back 3. A little bit long on that. I know you want to go long and pin the opposition back in their territory, but you also want to give your chasers a bit of a chance to put pressure on that kick back. Yeah, well, you know, this early on in the game, I think we can look to kick long. I think later on in the game, or if it's closer towards the tail end of the game, then yes, we will look to change our strategies at kickoffs. But turnover. As Will Crane's throw goes awry. That's Hartpury's first line out of the game, and not going to plan. Northumbria's ball, and they look again to carry. This time through their second row, Alan Gregory. His first start having come off the bench in last week's game against Cardiff Met. That one that they squeaked 28-24, courtesy of the boot of Josh Hodge. They were incredible in the first 30 minutes. Should have scored a hatful of points, but they didn't. They got pegged back, and they'll be looking to be a bit more clinical this week as they box their way out through Elliott, but that's quite in field. It goes to the man JJ wearing the 15 jersey, who feeds the cannonball with a twitch of the swerve. Merrick, who raises a roar from the crowd, and this is some nice stuff from Hartpury. There's the replacement, Aidan Burnett, the Zimbabwean physical back row player who's just come on for Angus Soughton. as it gets put on the toe, and that's a delicate little bit of play, pinning Northumbria back in their 22. Hartpury will be pleased with that passage.
Yeah, they will. I feel we weren't going anywhere then, so it's good to put I feel it's the right thing to do, put boot to ball there. But, you know, hopefully keep Northumbria pinned here now and starve them, make them exit, and then we can look back and get a counter attack.
As our camera falls on Ollie Robinson, the man that we've spoken of quite a lot for a man who's not been on the pitch yet, but such is his presence in this Northumbria team and also on the league. What a player, what a guy. As the ball is overthrown, and this is a chance for Hartpury now to get across the paint. There's a little tips, it goes out the back door, it's going to go wide, a missed ball out to the man of the swerve, he sells a dummy, gives the fan, and he's in to open his account of the evening and send the Gilman's crowd into raucous cheers. Of the swerve does it again.
That's absolutely brilliant. Great finish from Irv there, but good, great work from the forwards. I think it was Alex Gibson there throwing that ball out the back there. That was superb from counter-attack from us there.
Yeah, a really nice long miss ball there from Joe Margetts. And then Jack Johnson was on the outside, which was taking the attentions of the Northumbria defence, allowing the Belgian to sell the dummy in a real strong fend, showing us all aspects of his game. The two hands on the ball with the show and go, followed by the power to swat away his opposite man, as Nathan Chamberlain lines up for another kick. 65 points so far this season, including the penalty that he just slotted. First in the BUCS point scoring tally league. Can he stretch it? Get in the hole is the cry from the crowd, but he just pushes it to the right of the upright as it slips off his boot. So just the 5 points for the home side as they lead Northumbria 8 points to 3 with just over a quarter of the game gone. And a response needed from Northumbria in this BUCS Super Rugby match, sponsored by Yoti. Bragman sends it high, steepling into the air, and the chase is once again good by Rudling, but the Hartpury man evades him on this occasion, and they're set up nicely for what they'll want to be a clean exit, which wasn't the case last time. As Venner calls his forwards round the corner, but he goes to the pocket, to their 10, Chamberlain, who sends it long, and look at that for a chase from the men in red, and he's side down by Dwayne Burrows. A great chase there by Hartpury, but Northumbria do well to come away with the ball.
Get up.
They reset, and they look to carry through their dynamic back row that we mentioned in the build-up. Elliott feeds it. Bragman is at the back of the diamond, who finds Josh Hodge, who then finds Rudling, who's carving a nice line, but he's well attended to by 2 red defenders. But this is progress and a bit more dynamic play, a bit more penetration from Northumbria, something they've been missing in the early forays. As Elliott once again finds Bragman. Bragman goes out the back, but it is red. Read a mile off by Joe Margetts, who's really having a great impact on the game. I mentioned before, Hartpury, you've used 4 different people in that 12 journey throughout the season. It's his second start in a row. Could he be the man to be filling this jersey long term?
Well, I think by the looks of it at the moment, yes. I think he's last week as well. He played very, very well. He was, you know, was almost like having a second fly half in that 12 position. So yeah, he's really, really coming into his own in this game, and he has done so far. And he's been at Hartpury now for 3 years, so he knows the culture, he understands what it's about here. So good luck to him.
Good luck to you, Joe. A fine game so far. He'll want to keep this up.
Fine.
As he's going to be called on defensively once again, because it's a Northumbria scrum just here on the outskirts of the halfway line, and they go wide on the blind side, using that big blind side, but it's good defence once again from Hartpury, and some spoiling there as well at the breakdown. They look offside from the back feet, but the referee isn't calling it at the moment. Northumbria struggling to unlock this Hartpury defence at the moment. They're trying the battering rams of the forwards. They're trying to decode them. And here they go. I speak too soon as Rory Howard finds it on the left wing and feeds it inside. It's one out the back door to Jari Fantini, the back row, who offloads, and they just about pick up the pieces as that attack begins to fall apart, but they've still got opportunity as they're going to look to go right. It's in the hands of the back row. Bragman now has it, who throws one over the top to George Bordill, who's in the open channel, but as he looks to offload it prematurely from the tackle, Jack Johnson hits him hard, the ball spills. It's a scrum to Hartpury, and once again, a let-off for the home side.
Yeah, for sure, another let-off for us, but once again, you know, the dog and the fight in the lads and defence is outstanding. You know, Jack Johnson there with a massive hit, dislodging the ball. That's what you want, you know, especially from your fullback. This is perfect.
Yeah, that was a real taste of what Northumbria can do when they get opportunity, and hands free in the tackle as well with their offloading game. And then we see Jari Fantini, their open side flanker, the first man in support. You've got to watch out for those breaks, haven't you? They'll punish you. The scrum seemingly taking an age to set, and Hartpury very early with the shove there.
Wait, don't step back, hold your weight.
But the referee asking both sides to hold their weight. A little bit too much eagerness from the reigning BUCS Championship Cup holders. And we'll have a reset here. It took so long to form the scrum that time there, Ben. It's no wonder the boys were itching to put the hit on by the time he hit set.
I think the boys just want to get on with the game, you know. Scrums are just a minor stoppage, just get it out to the backs and have some running rugby.
Spoken like a true number 9, but it's certainly a weapon of choice at Hartpury at the moment as they look to have a penalty advantage from that dominance. Toby Venner uses the free shot for a chip over the top. It comes to nothing. And that's a bit soft from Northumbria because it's going to give Chamberlain a chance to put it on the toe, stick the laces through it, and Hartpury are going to get the throw, and if it goes out into touch. He's conservative with his desire for distance, so we find ourselves in between the 22 and the 10-metre line of Hartpury's half. Will Crane, the last line out malfunction, he goes quickly and he finds his man, and they've got a bit of tempo about them, have Hartpury at the moment. As Venner puts up the box, but the referee has spotted another infringement. Pulled down in the line out, dangerous play from Northumbria in their defensive responsibility in the line out. And again, a soft escape for Hartpury. They're going to be loving this.
Yeah, you know, that's such an easy let out for us, going from just outside our own 5-metre line. Marched Northumbria back up the pitch just through 2 penalties, you know. Happy days for Hartpury, but silly errors from Northumbria.
Happy days to Hartpury indeed as they work their way up to the halfway line. Will Crane, the ball in his hands once again. That tempo line out worked before. Northumbria unable to react as they go to the back, and they're looking good. Here we go, big carry in the middle from Will Hopwood, that man that we spoke about before from Fylde RFC, the great Fylde, having learnt his craft for a couple of years in New Zealand. The Stonyhurst School alumni. As Hartpury go out the back, and it's a miss one to Dwayne Burrows, who finds himself in a bit of space, but a great cover tackle down that left wing from his opposite man in the black jersey. But they've recovered the ball, they've gone for a pick and go, and they're muscled into touch. That was a wonderful tackle from Northumbria after Dwayne Burrows did very well to keep his grasp of the pill. And it's an entertaining game, but it's a bit broken at the moment. A lot of set piece, not giving us a huge amount of rhythm to work with.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's always going to be that. You know, in the first half, it will be quite stop-start. Teams trying to find their feet, trying to work out other teams, you know, strategies and things like that. But you know, second half will open up, I'm sure of it, and that's when the exciting stuff really happens.
Yes, indeed, another faux pas at the line out from Northumbria. Yields a scrum for Hartpury here. Just around about the 10-metre line of Northumbria's half, as I've got a score to bring to you from Cardiff. Well, a lot closer than a lot of people would have thought. The final score, Cardiff University 27, Exeter University 35. So the Green Machine roll on, although it looks as if Cardiff University posed somewhat of a speed bump for them. The new boys beginning to find their feet. You guys played them first round of the season. What did you make of them?
Oh, they're a very good team, and they really do dog out for each other. And playing them... Oh, hang on. We're in attack here, hang on.
Unable to articulate himself because he's so excited for the Hartpury attack. An attack, they continue to do so. Keeping it tight, but again, they look to go wide. Chamberlain dictating things like a maestro in front of an orchestra. As it's spilt forward once again, the error count beginning to climb in this match from both sets of players. And we just like a few more phases strung together, wouldn't we, Ben?
Yeah, you know, I don't think both teams have gone past 5-6 phases. You know, when you do go past that, that's when the gaps and the spaces really open up. So that's what Northumbria are very good at, exploiting those. So hopefully we get through a few more phases and we see some proper running rugby.
Yeah, do you think that that Hartpury and Northumbria are looking to maybe go wide a little bit early at the moment? I know there's opportunity out in those wide channels and there's lethal players, but as you said, building those phases, sucking the defence in and creating those gaps.
Yeah, I do feel that, you know, you've got to earn the right to go wide. I think that
love that phrase. We love a cliche here on BSR Rugby, Ben.
I haven't prepared that one or anything.
You told me you had a few Halloween gags lined up, but you're yet to spill them out. We're saving those for the second half.
Oh yeah, I'll save those for the second half. Hopefully when the game opens up a bit, I'll bring them out.
Okay, Ben George, a second half performer when it comes to the comedy stakes, ladies and gentlemen. Bragman clears the decks for Northumbria there. Will Crane again with the ball in his hands. The line-out's beginning to tick nicely for them as it just slips through the back jumper's hands. The throw was good. Maybe the lift was a little bit weak, but Hartpury get away with it. Northumbria giving away a penalty again. Their discipline is beginning to kill them a little bit in this first half, and Dazza Fern will be livid about that because it's giving easy opportunities to exit the threatening areas for the home team.
You know, it just makes every team's life easier. You know, when you get a penalty, and you just whack it as far as you can down the field. So Northumbria won't be happy at the moment.
Right, line out Hartpury on the Northumbria 22, right side of the field. The backs lined up. Can we see something on first phase here, or is it going to be catch and drive, suck the defence in, and then it goes wide?
By looks of it, it's going to be a catch and drive.
And catch and drive, Ben's called it right, and it's nice. They've got the nudge on. The ball's at the back there in the captain's hands. Will Crane, 2 man of the matches already this season. A talisman for this team as Venner goes for a snipe. He finds Robbie Smith on the crash. Dealt with by the Northumbria defence and knocked on again by Harry Wilson, the man who's in the tries. 2 tries last week, 2 tries against Northumbria in the corresponding fixture, but butterfingers tonight.
Yeah, he won't be very happy with that. That's our first bit of you know, proper attack in their 22. You know, and a little fumble there, but not to worry. But it's still early doors in the game.
Confirmation of that final result between Cardiff and Exeter University. 27-35. Room for optimism from Cardiff, but they're still waiting for that hallowed first victory in BSR. It took Nottingham Trent until March last year to get their first win. Surely Cardiff won't have to wait so long. They'll be praying down in the valleys that won't be the case, as James Elliott feeds the ball into a more stable scrum for the men in black, and Josh Bragman thumps it into the crowd here at Gilman's ground, and quite a crowd it is as well. You're beginning to pull some big numbers on a Wednesday night for all your games.
Yeah, like I said before, you know, it's become a really big club atmosphere here now. So I think today there were loads of the rugby teams at home, a lot of the netball teams, a lot of the football teams all at home today. So it was a big event, obviously being Halloween. So everyone come out, you see a few people there in fancy dress and things like that. So it's becoming a big occasion here on Wednesday night in the evenings.
as the line-out is overthrown once again by Will Crane. That's something they'll be speaking about in the change rooms at half-time. The captain, Will Crane, demands higher standards himself for that, surely. And Northumbria, again, find themselves with a chance to get out of their half, something that has not been the case for the last 15 minutes. They had a period of concerted pressure earlier in the first half where they came away with 3 points. But since then, they've been firmly in defence mode as they box out quite far infield, and there's that man Johnson we've spoken of before, but the ball spills out loose and it's into the hands of Rory Howard, who finds a man in support, who's stripped by Toby Venner, who feeds Robbie Smith. Was that a knock on? The referee doesn't seem to think so, and Irvin Murick is on the chase, but the ball beats him to the touchline and it trickles out, and once again a litany of handling errors from both sides, creating opportunity that is ultimately squandered. It's a very fractious game, and every time Northumbria seem to have a sniff, seem to have a chance to go into offensive mode, the mode that they love, that they thrive on, that they prosper, they just can't get the ball to stick, as that one is a real wayward throw, but the referee lets it go. I think maybe he's had enough of the shocking lineouts that we've seen so far this game, Ben. And Elliott again boxes out. That looks to be a little bit of a better one, onto the 15-metre line. But again, Hartpury, they're going to look to counter. Johnson carries through the middle. Fantini's on that like a barnacle on a boat, and the referee identifies it too. And he's won them a penalty.
That's very good. That is, you know, that line chase in the midfield to get over a ball like that as well. That's absolutely outstanding play.
Yeah, you have to admire the counter-attacking verve of Hartpury, but that time Johnson finding himself isolated and in the company of the worst man to do so, Jari Fantini. He got a try last week, he got a yellow last week. He comes from a judo background, but I can tell you he's a black belt at the breakdown, that man, and he's someone you don't want around the ball when you don't have any support with you.
I think for sure he's definitely at the top of most watch lists for teams when you're playing against him.
Certainly is. Can we get this line out purring, Northumbria? They go to the front, and it's stolen by Hartpury. They cannot hit a barn door at the moment with this line out, and the set piece is going to be a real worry for Darren Fern and his men going into the sheds at half-time. We're 2 minutes away, because without that set piece platform, they don't have the opportunity to give their backs the ball to shine. And it's kicked deep. It's spread to Josh Hodge, who puts a bit of footwork in, the elusive Josh Hodge.
No tackle, right? Good.
But he's tackled just shy of the 10-metre line of his own half. A show and go by one of his forwards. Northumbria probably just looking to see this half out, a half that they've squandered chances, they've made errors, so to maybe come away just 8 points to 3 down, they could be quite happy.
Oh yeah, for sure, and I think they'll also be a bit annoyed as well. You know, the amount of times they've had a good attacking opportunities in Hartpury's 22 and come away with nothing from silly errors and things like that. I think they'll be quite. I think they'll have a bit of a row in the sheds at half time.
A bit of a row in the sheds, but it could all change with a timely intervention from one of their magic men out wide. It's a chip over the top. Hartpury get to it first, but they knock it on in the process. Another scrum. This one's one for the purists, that's for sure, Ben. If you love a scrum, tune into BUCS Super Rugby down here at Gilman's Ground tonight. There's 40 minutes of scrummaging left, unless the players can put a bit of stick grip on their fingertips.
Hopefully they can for the second half, because the cornerstone, this is what he lives for. It's very boring rugby.
I think I found him greasing the ball in the tunnel just before the game so that he could eat scrum pie all evening here as we're approaching the final seconds of this first half. Hartpury leading Northumbria 8 points to 3 in this BUCS Super Rugby match, brought to you by Yoti. And the ball is in Northumbria's possession. An 8 pickup sets up the ruck on the halfway line. And the ball is spun to Bragman, who finds his centre, who feeds Rudling. Again, great defence from Hartpury, from Dwayne Burrows. He's really marked Rudling out of the game so far. A guy who scored a try in the first round against Bath, stripping Alex Burridge on his own 5-metre line. A real pickpocket of a try.
No, release 2, 3.
But it's him who's had his space stolen all night by his opposite number so far. As Bragman attacks the line, throws the ball up. Northumbria do well to hold on to the ball. But in doing so, again, their discipline is called into question, and this would be a lovely tonic just to finish off the first 40 to Hartpury. If Nathan Chamberlain can pop this one over.
For sure, that's he's very confident with his kicking, obviously being the top scorer, top point scorer so far, but that is very, very far out. Let's hope he has the legs.
Well, it's a similar spot to where he kicked from earlier in the half, which prompted the crowd to shout, he's the greatest kicker in the league. A difficult claim to stake at someone when Josh Hodge is on the opposing team with a 100% record. But slot it he did. And this one is a biggie. A lovely contact from the 10, but his accuracy just leaks wide and it shaves the post for Northumbria to dot the ball down and signal the end of the first half, with the referee blowing his whistle with the score 8 points to 3 in favour of Hartpury over Northumbria in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture. The teams head to the sheds in front of a more muted audience after a scrappy first half, typified by handling errors and malfunctioning set piece. So words to be said in the changing rooms for half-time. Ben, what are your reflections on that half?
I think both teams are very lucky to not have tries scored against them in that first half there. You know, both teams had opportunities, didn't take them. So I think hopefully the second half now we have a few more phases, a lot less handling errors, a lot less penalties, and then we can look for a more hopefully a more expansive game.
When you've had a half where there has been that many errors and there's been that many faults, do you go into the changing rooms with a degree of optimism because you know you can't really play much worse and that there's so much to improve on, and if you get even just a few of those right, that you could potentially blow the opposition away?
Yeah, for sure. You know as a player that the mistakes you've made, and if they're individual handling errors or discipline errors, you can always better that. You go into every game to try and not make those mistakes. So half-time in the sheds now, definitely they will look to just nullify their own personal errors, and both teams should come out a lot stronger.
Okay, well, in a half full of handling errors, there's scant highlights to show you, but there was one, and it came from a man that we identified in the pre-match build-up as a man to watch. Ben, talk us through this try.
Well, it was good. It was good turnover ball initially. Good turnover ball, get it wide as quick as we can. We've hit the forwards, gone out the back door, and that is just a lovely pass from Joe Margetts, the 12. He's coming real into form now at that 12 jersey. Looking good out there.
Good vision, great execution. Maybe Howarth going a little bit high on someone with so much explosive upper body power as Murick.
Oh, for sure. He's a one-man wrecking ball. Like you said, it's a cannonball with a twitch. You've got to be so careful around him, whether it's in close quarters or in open space. But great finish from the man. And
you've got to take a lot of heart from that the one time that you managed to build the phases and then execute your passing, it was try time.
Well, exactly. That is a positive for us. It's a massive positive for us. We can go in and think we did have that opportunity and we took it well. So hopefully we can kick on now.
So as we have limited offering of tries for you here down at Gilman's Ground, we have got a little package of last week's try lights to show you that this league really is the most exciting in the country.
Off by that initial drop, takes the strong carry. Bit of space here for Loughborough, the 2-on-1 around the outside. Cover tackle comes in, has it been grounded? Doesn't look like it from here, but the referee thinks it is. Just the one converted score in the second half. Is there time for any more? Josh Lewis out of nowhere, dabs for the corner after another huge collision. Just bounces up there. Sam Roberts with the offload, Tom Walsh under the sticks, and Loughborough students save the best till last.
If that doesn't make tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
It was so much easier because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
It's the kind of convenience we want in this holidays that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easier, you have all your stuff in one place.
It makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and it's quite versatile as well.
This is my 4th year at the uni now, and I've been to this game every year, and it's something special. And to play at the Rec, obviously the home of Bath Rugby, it's something which most boys don't even expect to do before they come to uni, and to get the opportunity to do it here, it's impressive. And if you're not getting excited about it, there's something wrong. And I know those boys really well, and I know that they're going to be coming out here on that field even just for the warm-up, and there's going to be something inside them buzzing.
I think it's just amazing. Like I say, the amount of people who turn up to support is kind of getting bigger and bigger every year. It's such a good experience for them, you know, potentially going on to professional contracts afterwards. Obviously, the level of competition is always a great level for Bath, especially someone like Tom Doughty, going to attract a big crowd, setting that BUCS record this year with the number of tries he's scored, which is really going to obviously draw people in.
BUCS and the RFU and all the stakeholders have really created a pretty good product. The word exciting is used too often, but we keep saying that. I can't speak for them, but they're playing in front of a load of their mates, their peers and their girlfriends and their family, and yeah, of course they're motivated.
It's just really exciting for young rugby players. The best thing about it is being able to go out there and express yourself. As a young player, that's what you want to do, and you want people to start watching you, and BUCS Super Rugby offers that pathway to be able to do that. When you're in the late stages of the game and times are getting tough, when you hear a big crowd behind you, it really does help motivate you to push on in the last few minutes.
Has the opportunity to kick Bath to glory. So a little taste of what the league has been bringing to us all season, and a closer look at Bath, who put on a great performance today earlier against Nottingham Trent in the 3 p.m. kickoff. They picked up a 37-19 victory, a bonus point in the process, leapfrogging them to the top of the table, while the 5 p.m. kickoff between Cardiff and Exeter ended 27-35. You know what's happening here. It's Hartpury 8, Northumbria 3. While there's a couple of big scores for the home sides elsewhere. Cardiff Met bouncing back after 2 losses in a row. 22-7 up against Leeds Beck at half-time, just gone there. While the Palatinate again, after their humbling at the hands of the home side here, lead Loughborough 24 points to 7. So a real league shakedown happening this evening as predicted. And Ben, you've played a number of these sides. Which teams have impressed you the most?
I think this year, I think Nottingham Trent, obviously going from last year, just being promoted, and they've really grown into the league and grown into the team this year. I think they're definitely one to watch this year, and the link they have with the Championship side there as well in Nottingham is very good development for them as well.
And Durham, we see them there beating Loughborough 24-7 at the moment at half-time. You put them to the sword last week. Do you think you just caught them on an off day, maybe?
Yes. Well, must have, because they kind of...
Not taking anything away from Hartpury's performance, you guys were sensational.
No, for sure. You know, Durham, to go 3 from 3 at the start, and then to lose that badly was a bit of a shock, but... I think from Hartpury's point of view, I think it was very, I think the boys put in an 80-minute performance, which is what we've been looking for so far this season, and we were relentless as in defence and attack, and didn't let Durham breathe, to be fair. So it was a shock, but that's rugby for you, though. The moment you switch off, and especially in this league as well, the other side are definitely just going to take advantage of it.
There is absolutely nowhere to hide in this league if you put in a subpar performance, that's for sure. But luckily for both these sides, each team is subpar. So we'll be looking for a second half full of improvement with everything to play for. 5 points just separating the two sides. 8-3 the score. The ball in Northumbria's Josh Bragman's hands as we await the referee's signal to kick off the last 40 minutes that's going to determine the winner of this fixture. Josh Bragman, a real magician, but also a real leader, someone who bleeds for the black jersey. Sending it long into that night sky, into the hands of Dwayne Burrows, one of the standout performers from that first half. And it takes 2 men to drag him down, as Hartpury are going to look to exit, but it's good line speed from Northumbria, boshing the would-be runner back. They're in the 22, but it's been carried back in, so they won't be able to kick it straight out at the moment. Venner goes for the box, and he has just about found the touch. I thought they brought that back in, Ben.
So did I from over here, but referee obviously thought differently.
So maybe a little escape, but not too much remonstrating from the Northumbria players. So all is above board, and a chance to get this set piece popping from the get-go in this second half and give us, the spectators, a platform for some running rugby. But I speak too soon as Hartpury steal yet another one, and it's advantage Hartpury. Though he's wrestled and grappled, he did so well to stay in play there under the attentions of 3 black jerseys. They pick and go. Not dragged down straight away. Fantini's trying to get over the ball there. And they're going to put some width on it finally. Joe Margetts, the assist creator with the long pass in the first half. Goes to the laces, but it slides off the boot, goes straight into touch. And it's going to be a line out back on the halfway line as we see a little shot of some of the Halloween mirth that we've got going on here. What's happening down at Hartpury? Is it right that your bar is called the Legends Bar?
Yes, it is. Yes, yeah, the Legends Bar. And
what do you think the rest of the league feel about you calling your own bar the Legends Bar?
Oh, they're probably not too impressed, but it's been about for many a year, so we can't say anything about it.
There were the legends that came before. Hartpury was such a rich history in this tournament across many sports as Josh Hodge makes a line burst and he finds a runner on his left. Rory Howard on the burst. He puts the ball down, but no ruck was formed and Hartpury get an opportunity to snaffle it.
See another turnover there after a very good, exciting play there. So annoying again.
Another turnover indeed, and Josh Hodge looking electric every time he gets the ball in his hands. And good support play there from Rory Howard, probably looking to make amends for that missed tackle in the first half, leading to the Murick try. Again, we see the box. Again, the ball is cleared, and again, we're going to see a line out. This time, all the way back, it's gone straight out. The referee deciding with me this time. It's on the 22, and this is probably the best opportunity that Northumbria have had since the 15th minute of this game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this is a great platform, inside, well, just inside or just outside the 22. You know, great platform. I'm not sure what they're looking to do here, but like you've said, their backs are potent. So let's hopefully we get some backs out wide.
The line out's taken clearly. Bragman out the back. A show and go through the middle. From Thomas Galbraith, we haven't had an opportunity to mention the Scotland 20s player too much, but he makes a timely intervention to take Northumbria up to the 22. There's a little bit of space around the fringes if Northumbria can spot it as Fantini takes a carry. And this is better from Northumbria. They go wide. Again, Galbraith, who's been bouncing between the 12 and 13 jersey for most of the season, challenges the line. We've had a substitution wearing the 6 jersey. Bosh, what a hit from Dwayne Burrows, reading the play and coming in off his wing to put a monstrous hit in the midfield. As Bragman takes it to the line, no runners off him, so he has to put his head down. Not his favoured method of attack. As Whip is put on the ball once more, but again inaccuracy. And here, if they can transition it quick enough, Hartpury have got a chance to attack. As Irving Murick bounces his first one, bounces the second. He's swerving, he gives the offload. There's a man on the inside, it's Toby Vella, who lights up Gilman's ground with a diving score from a turnover ball.
There we go, that was all started there from Irving Murick. Absolute cannonball, amazing.
As slippery as an eel, once they got the ball into the hands of Irving Murick, no one could drag him down until one hand was on his jersey, but he had the awareness to find the inside ball to the trailing support. Number 20 it was, the substitute, Aidan Burnett. Came on there, he attracted all the cover defence and fed it inside to Venner, who had the wheels to burst through Bragman's last-ditch tackle and dive his way into a feisty celebration, taking the score to Hartpury 13, Northumbria 3. And what a way to start the first half. And in that time, Nathan Chamberlain just popped the ball over the post, so it's 15-3 now, and Northumbria staring at a mountain of a comeback to climb.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want after it's straight into the second half. Lovely break from Irvin and great supporting lines from Aidan and Toby there. Absolute classic rugby.
Just what the doctor ordered if you're from a Hartpury persuasion, but a nightmare if you're from the northeast cheering on the men in black. Bragman sends it long, but he sends it too long. And more errors creeping in at a time that they need to collect their thoughts and get some concerted pressure and structure to their game. Hartpury, their advantage is 12 points. Where do they go from here, Ben?
I think there's not much to change, really. You know, we are only a couple of minutes into the second half, so let's keep to the game plan and keep probing away. And obviously, like we said, we cancel out all the errors. then you know this game is all to play for.
Well, they've got a try scorer as the light of a set piece here. A scrum, centre of the field. Both sides evenly stacked. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. 3 on the right. I beg your pardon. That wouldn't be even otherwise, Ben. Can you believe I've got a degree in economics? But they choose to go left. And Dwayne Burrows is there. He receives the missed ball, puts a bit of footwork in, but Rudling takes to him. And then it's left up to Lewis Berg to wrestle him into the touchline. And that's a bit of a disappointing return to have that great platform and then take it into touch off the first phase.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, we've said before, both teams need to start building phases, and you know, and the touchline, I guess, it's another one for you. The touchline is a 16th defender, so
very good, Ben. Keep them coming.
So yeah, that's pretty silly from Hartpury there, but turnover at the lineup as well.
But it almost bears no consequence at the moment because Northumbria are incapable of winning one line out at all. Again, they go to the front. Again, it's spoilt by the front jumper, and it's becoming a feature as they carry through Harry Holland, the number 6. We go. There he is, as you said. If he's not on the wing, he's screaming for the ball in the centre. The Belgian international carrying once again a thunderous hit from the back row substitute for Northumbria. Cuts Hartpury down in their tracks, but again it's in the hands of the danger man and no one can hold him. It's incredible stuff. Like a crowbar just bursting out of these shackles every time. And Hartpury finally have some momentum. It's dotted onto the toe, but maybe a little bit too much, but they won't care because it's on the 22 of the visitors. And with their line out under so much pressure, they're going to be wanting it to not crumble again. Yeah, with the red men knocking at their door.
I think that was a great option from Nathan there. You know, keep Northumbria pinned back in their 22, you know. Their line-out, like you said, isn't functioning, so we can put pressure on that and try and force an error.
This time, on a rare occasion, Northumbria pouch the ball. The would-be drive is spoilt, but they do come away with it. As Elliott calls his blockers in, shaping for the box. And he does just that again in field where Burrows is waiting to spin it to the right, and that's very nice hands from Hartpury on the outside arc. They put the kick in where Bragman's there to collect. He steps, he weaves, but there's 3 defenders there to take him down. It's a penalty, and it's a tap and go from Elliott where Will Crane interferes with him before the 10. Is that going to be a yellow card for the captain? No, it's not. It's just a penalty. Cynical stuff from Will Crane. I think he can count himself lucky to not be carded there because that was a great opportunity for Elliott to just burst through, take the set piece out of the game and get behind the home defence.
I think that was a great option as well for Northumbria. Obviously, line out haven't been going too well, so look to go quick and really catch Hartpury off guard there. That was a good option.
Well, the penalty it was, and they persist with their line-out tactic as Josh Hodge puts in another fantastic kick. Pinpoint, nice and flat, really deep down into enemy territory. They managed to take the last line out. They'll be begging for this one to be taken because this is a great chance for them. As we see the legend himself, Matt Gilbert, the galloping barista in the background, the champ back row, second row, just surveying the scene from his coffee truck. He's a bit of a legend here, isn't he? As Northumbria gets a nudge on, but it's dragged down illegally, says the referee. He puts his hand up for the long arm penalty. And what do Northumbria do here? That line out was taken very cleanly, causing Hartpury to commit the penalty, and they go back to the corner.
Confident here from Northumbria. I like it.
Well, they need the points, don't they? 12 down. The penalties aren't really going to cut the mustard, even though there is 30 minutes to play. And just even winning these lineouts are confidence boosting for them at the moment. That's 2 in a row they've got now. That's the best they've done all game. Can they make it a third? As a hush falls over the game, they're looking for the ball. There it is. Hopefully that hasn't interrupted their rhythm. As they move to the back, and they find their back marker, George Bordill. He takes the offload to Jari Fantini, who's so strong! And he scurries his way over through the tackle, staying on his feet, reaches out, and says, game on Hartpury, 15 points to 8, with a kick to come.
Oh, that was a brilliant try. Well worked. Could see him there looking up, looking for space, and then he takes advantage of it. Great leg drive as well. Brilliant try. Fantastic leg drive, just like scurrying that low centre of gravity. Impossible to tether him to the floor, and the long reach, bringing his team right back into the game with a crucial kick to come from Josh Hodge. Missed 100% himself. And boy, do they need those percentages to continue in a game that they're fighting to stay in. It is like watching pure poetry, this man kick. It's like a golf professional who chips the ball to within a foot every time. It is metronomic, it's beautiful to see, and it's taken Northumbria back to within 5 points of Hartpury as the score lies 15 points to 10 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, sponsored by Yoti, and very much game on, Ben. Yes, thank goodness. The first half was obviously very boring, so hopefully this second half now really kicks off and we'll show some real good running rugby now, hopefully. Exactly, both teams with the bit between their teeth. Irvin Murick performing for Hartpury, finally the line out functioning for Northumbria. Have we got the platform to give us a fantastic second half and some tries and some thunderous action, the stuff that we were really anticipating and looking forward to as Northumbria look to return with interest from the kickoff that was sent in between the 22 and the 10-metre line. Elliott shapes the box once more, but it's charged down, but it spills out to Howard, and Fantini's in support. Okay. But it's a foot in touch from Howard. Fantini putting the footwork in on Werner and a little bit of handbags to boot. The crowd like it, and it's good to see both players up for it because there is only a score in this. It looked to have fallen kindly for Howard there after a great charge down from the Hartpury forward. But as it is, it's in Will Crane's hand on the 10-metre line. It's a shortened line out. Hartpury don't seem to know what they're doing, and they're going to go for a tempo throw just like they have been before. Yes, they do. It's messy. Northumbria managed to get a hand into the Hartpury jumper at the front. Harry Wilson they put up there. The referee judges it to be a knock-on. And this is good for Northumbria now. There he is. Oh, just on camera then, our man, Rob Fuller. Rob Fuller, yes, the second row, injured at the moment. Yeah, he's got a bit of a knee injury playing for the championship side a couple of weekends ago. So, yeah, it looks like he might potentially be out for a while. So, good luck to him and good luck to his recovery. We'll get well soon, Rob Fuller. Tell me, is the promise of championship rugby a Bugs Bunny-sized carrot that's dangling for you guys here playing in BUCS?
For sure it is, and it's always good to have a team above you to aspire to and work hard to play for. But at the end of the day, our job is to play here we'll play for the BUCS on a Wednesday. So you know it's all nice and it's all good to have that opportunity, but we need to perform for the BUCS first to even get a look in for that team on a Saturday.
You're just as passionate about winning BUCS as you are getting into the championship and making a bit of a name for yourself.
Oh, for sure, 100%. Just passionate to put the Hartpury jersey on week in, week out.
As Josh Bragman pins Hartpury back on their 5-metre line, a terrific tactical kick from the Geordie 10, and it's returned to Josh Hodge. What a tackle from Jack Johnson, who flings himself through the air, taking out the supporting leg of the lethal counter-attacker Josh Hodge. Fantastic stuff. If he got through there, it was going to begin to open up for Northumbria, because Bragman's pulling the strings once more now as Bordle finds himself out in the wide channel. A huge hit on Howard has folded him like a cheap accordion, and he's in real trouble over there on the left wing, but the attack continues through the hands of Lewis Berg.
I think that was another massive hit from Harry Holland there. You could hear it from here again. Huge in defence, Harry Holland is.
But Northumbria retain possession. Concerted possession, and Fantini bursts through the middle, and there's some footwork as well. He needs some support. They're over the ball with the retreating Hartpury defence. Again to the second rows. Alan Gregory this time carrying, receiving it from Michael Walton, the man who can play back row also. Such is the dynamism in the forward pack here in Northumbria. Rudling's onto the ball, but he's tended to again. Howard's there at the breakdown. He's still hurting from that monstrous hit. But Northumbria retaining possession. They're looking good here. They're looking more complete. And they're starting to bristle a little bit more. Bragman again finds the ball. They burst through the middle. They need some support play, and it's coming in the shape of Jamie Ross. He's dragged down. They're 10 metres out. What can they do here? Bragman wants it. He shows the dummy. It almost opens up for her in, but dragged down by Burnett. A crucial intervention. Berg finding a Fantini on a line against the grain. He puts the footwork in and takes the score level with a fantastic score. Northumbria have an answer finally for Hartpury's defence, and with the kick to come, they could take the lead.
Well, that's an outstanding try. Great build-up as well. You know, like we said, the moment you go six plus phases, you know, the spaces do open up, and that was a brilliant try. Well taken, brilliant step at the end there.
Fantini like an express train out of nowhere, taking the ball, bursting through the first tackle with the awareness to put the footwork in, that footwork that he learnt when he was in the mixer with England Sevens a couple years ago. And this game has been turned on its head in the space of less than 10 minutes.
This is what we asked for in the first half, for the boys to come out and give us some exciting rugby, so they've done well.
And Josh Hodge sneaks it past the right upright, and in the process takes the away side into the lead. It's Hartpury 15, Northumbria 17, 60 minutes gone. A huge last quarter of the match, and Hartpury behind for the first time in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. A Fantini double has turned the game on its head, and Hartpury are chasing. But they're chasing with the ball in their hands. And it's in Robbie Smith. He's been quiet for this first 20 minutes. They'll want to get him into the game a little bit more. He's very impactful in that opening half. And Northumbria need to get their defensive heads on, because Hartpury are putting the phases together. They probe down the right-hand side. Chamberlain on the boot. What a pickup from Josh Hodge, who's really come alive in this second half with his running, his fielding of the kicks, and of course his crucial conversions. He takes some yards.
Northumbria probably just look to exit here, get the ball down the under end of the field, relieve some pressure. This looks like exactly what they're doing here with the box.
Certainly, we've seen this box tactic employed by Elliott routinely throughout the half. He finds Johnson, who again spreads it wide to Dwayne Burrows. We haven't seen him kick much. He's been tempted to just run it back and let his legs do the talking, but he finds Bragman, who puts in a fantastic kick just beyond the grasp of Irvin Murick, and it trickles to 5 metres out from the Hartpury line, but they take it quickly, and Venner's on hand to put the laces through it.
That's a brilliant exit there.
As he takes it all the way up to the halfway line. No, the 10-metre line, in fact, but a great connection there and good relievement of pressure. A little bit of indecision about maybe one of the Hartpury physios getting in the way of Rory House looking to field it and take it quickly.
Guys just won't make any change.
But still, they have the ball. And they've looked very threatening once they put a bit of consistent play together. They're playing in all the right areas, the areas that they just couldn't find entry into in the first half. And again, their line out is clean for Lewis Berg to carry forward.
That's great go forward ball there. That's what you want as a backline, forwards doing the dirty work. Great defence there as well.
Yeah, the forward pod led by George Bordill, driven back by a double hit. Fantini again. You can't keep this man out of the game at the moment. His leg strength so strong, just pumping away. You've got to nail him to the floor to stop him from squirming off. As they look to go left, they find Howard there. He's in some space. There is increasing amounts of space opening on these flanks. But he's held up. He gets the ball down there. The referee's in close. He says the ball's down. It's going to be Northumbria ball. But surely that's round from the side from Hartpury. The referee calls a knock on. I think that Hartpury can consider themselves lucky as he skirted round the side to interfere with the scrum half. As a man who knows that part of the field pretty well, Ben, you're smirking and agreeing with me.
Oh, I think that's great defence from Toby there.
Here he is.
Oh, that's brilliant defence, I think.
Wow, brilliant defence, says the one-eyed Hartpury man to my left-hand side. But it bears no consequence what we think, because the referee has called for a scrum. And we haven't seen too many of these in the second half. It was quite even Stevens in the first half. If anything, Hartpury marginally in the ascendancy. But certainly nothing to panic about from Northumbria.
Should be a great platform to attack off now for Northumbria.
Here we go. It's stable. It's to the back. Bordill picks up. He finds Elliott, who finds Tom Galbraith on the burst. And this is very good. Very threatening for Northumbria. Bragman dithers a little bit, and he's hit in the midfield. There's no 10 at the moment, so they'll probably look to go for a forward pod who are lining up to the right-hand side of Elliott here. They do indeed do that. A bit high into contact, but wrestles his way to the floor. And this is the composure that was lacking in the first half, as Joe Lashley, in for Mikey Newstead since round 2, gets to carry under his belt. We haven't said his name too much. Is it a big last 15 minutes from him? But man for defence from Hartpury drives Northumbria back again. Thomas Galbraith, he's been very, very destructive with his carrying in this second half.
Seeing Northumbria now go through a lot of phases. There's a lot of tired bodies there at the moment, so...
Oh, misses the tackle. And is this an opportunity out wide? Fantini, that footwork, it's sensational. Gets past his first man, but he's eventually dragged down. But spaces are opening up in the midfield here. Hartpury's defence looks like there's space and there's gaps to burst through. Rudling's on the ball. It's gone backwards. No, it has not. The referee says it's spilled marginally forward.
He was going for the pass, and as he's gone
and it looked for all money that Northumbria might have finally unlocked this resilient Hartpury defence down the right-hand side. And with that, they would have been stretching the league and getting their third try to go into bonus point territory.
Yeah, you know, we saw there Northumbria going through loads and loads of phases, tiring out the defence, and like then, you know, the space does come out wide, and you know, you go through those phases, tired bodies. If defender there, I think it was Dwayne Burrows, if he didn't come in and hit man on ball there, you know, Hartpury looking in trouble.
Yeah, it was a big, brave, courageous read in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. And you mentioned the players beginning to tire a little bit out there. Talk to me about the firepower that you've got on the bench to bring off and impact this game. The finishers, as Eddie J would say.
Yeah, I think we've shown, you know, obviously at Durham and at when Loughborough came here, that the bench isn't the bench anymore. It's boys that could come on and bring that extra bit of energy and tempo to the game, which is spot on, really. You know, I think a few boys have already come on now. some in the forwards, and it's just, you know, in terms of breakdown work and working hard around the corner and things like that, it's ideal for the boys that are that's still on, and they can just work them harder, and they, you know, they have fresher legs as well.
Well, talking of firepower from the bench, the man who's just picked up from the base is Ollie Robinson, finally back from injury.
Tackle the man without the ball.
He sets up the first ruck for Northumbria to attack off a second phase, but they give up a penalty in the process. And again, they're letting Hartpury off when they're in the red zone. It is killing them at the moment. They can afford to because they're 2 points up. But that right there is a time when if they'd scored, that could be enough to win this game because it's so tight at the moment.
Yeah, if they do score there, you know, that's alarm bells for Hartpury. But luckily, a penalty was awarded to Hartpury, so good, a clean exit, and let's try and get that down to the other end of the field.
Well, Hartpury take the line out, though it wasn't the intended recipient, as Burnett carries close to the fringes. He's been impressive since coming on for the English Angus Soughton. And Rudling's in the backfield to collect it. Flings it to the danger man, Josh Hodge, who fancies this. But having put the footwork in and stuck the defence, he launches one wide to the left. But it's a foot too high for Lewis Berg, straight into touch, and he's put his team under real pressure here.
There's another great attacking platform for Hartpury. Let's hope the line out is functioning well. Well, we can get a good clean take in this line out.
Yes, indeed. They got away with the last line out, evading all the hands of the jumpers that went up through to the back of the line. What will they do here?
Over 15.
They'll go to the back and they'll take it cleanly. That's what they'll do. But they break off quite soon from then, as Venner burrows around for the ball, organising his forwards in a pod to his left. They look to zigzag back right, but it's a fumble on the pickup. The referee says it hasn't gone forward. He puts a kick through. Josh Hodge, as ever, the omnipotent Josh Hodge in the backfield. Mops up the mess and puts a low grubber through. But that is a great kick return to Howard, who catches it out on the full. And that's brilliant play from Jack Johnson, the second year. All those extras he's been doing with Bob clearly paying off.
Yeah, Bob is always out there with him, doing extra passing and kicking. So, yeah, well, well, as you can see there, it's definitely paid off for him. That was a massive kick, and it's just relieved loads of pressure from us.
So an assist to his granddad, Bob, who's put in all those extra hours with Jack Johnson, who's put in a strong performance here from fullback for Hartpury. As Hartpury disrupt the line out. It went forward first from Northumbria, though. Ollie Robinson politely inquiring with the referee as to the circumstances of that knock on, but the referee firm. Northumbria knocked on before Hartpury did. Another sport line out, another chance for Hartpury to respond to this 2-point deficit that they're staring down at with 10 minutes remaining.
Right. Fine. Set.
Hartpury controlling the ball at the back with the forward momentum. The referee's arms out for a penalty, so it's a free shot for Bury. But Robbie Smith's pass goes behind the on-rushing Jack Johnson.
Stable platform there for Hartpury. You know, it's a shot to nothing when you got a penalty advantage at scrum time, so you may as well have a crack out wide.
Have a crack out wide, indeed. As I can bring you a bit of a score update that Loughborough have pegged a few points back. It's Durham 29, Loughborough 12 at the moment, while Cardiff Met remain in the superiority versus Leeds Beckett. All the games kicking off at 6:30, so consider our clock, their clock. So 8 minutes to play as we've got front row seats for this Hartpury drive with Will Crane at the back in the armchair with the joystick directing this driven maul. It breaks up a little bit, but Hartpury remains strong. They smuggle the ball to the back. Northumbria in there trying to disrupt. Crane's come round to help the situation. The maul is called. They get the ball down but not onto the grass. And that's fantastic defence from Northumbria when Hartpury built a really great drive that they were looking to splinter the Northumbria forwards with.
Yeah, that was outstanding from Northumbria there. You know, really nullified the drive. And look, we can see here now some more substitutions coming on for Hartpury. Hopefully bringing the energy and the impact, like you said, like you mentioned before.
So here comes the cavalry in the shape of Will Biggs, Nick English, and Harry Short. Harry Short, who made his debut last week. Will Biggs, the second team captain from last year. And Nick English, reputed to have the best chat in the club. What a band of merry men to bring on for the boys in red. At a real make or break time in the opposition 22. 15 metres out from the Northumbria line. Venner harassing his opposite number, Elliott. And as the scrum begins to shake and stumble, so do Northumbria with a knock-on at the base of the scrum. A coach-killing error, but it came from the pressure from Hartpury.
For sure, yeah. Pressure there from Toby Venner on the 9. I know it was on the 9, but 8 was in all sorts of trouble there. Little things like that will really put other teams under pressure there.
Venner with his hands on the ball. He's looked sparky all game. Is he about to create a bit of try-scoring magic to back up the try that he picked up in this half, that he finished so expertly after the thrilling break? It's a penalty advantage, a shot to nothing from Hartpury. They go wide to their danger man, Irvin Merrick. Oh, but he's dealt with by 3 black jerseys on this occasion as Ollie Robinson flies into the breakdown. For Northumbria, he's looking to bring the energy that they need to see out this victory, a famous away victory at Hartpury. They did the double over them last season. They're looking for the double again this year. They currently lead by 2 points, but God, this is going to be the longest 6.5 minutes of their life at the moment with just a 2-point cushion. 3 points separated these two teams at Kingston Park earlier in the season. Northumbria edged that one 38-35. 26-12 was the score here last year. 29-19 was the other result. These are always tight games on a knife edge, decided by key moments. And I really feel that one of these moments is going to be here in the Northumbria half right now, as Nathan Chamberlain calls for the tee. And a deathly, deathly hush falls over Gilman's ground. So much so, I'm nervous to speak, Ben.
Same here, I don't want to jinx anything.
Guys, on the 5, please. On the 5.
It's been a mixed bag from the tee this evening for Chamberlain. 85% kick success this season. Can he hold his nerve on this kick that will take them into a 1-point lead? And the roar will tell you, yes, we can. I can finally once again speak at normal volume. It is a deathly, deathly hush here at Gilman's ground when Nathan Chamberlain takes to the tee. But they erupted once they saw it sail through the uprights. A 1-point lead, 4 minutes to play. What a nail biter.
Oh yeah, it's an outstanding kick from Nathan there. No, but didn't even look like there was any pressure on him there. It was absolutely amazing. Now here we are, the restarts. Again, let's get a good clean exit and play down the right end of the field.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow, Nathan Chamberlain. And with 4 minutes left to play, the kickoff goes into the sky. We're down to 3.5 left. And Northumbria need to find a way to edge themselves to victory in this game. And what a place to start with Josh Bragman, their dependable magician, who feeds it to Rory Howarth, who is dumped on the halfway line. And this 50 metres seems like a long, long way to go now for the men in black. As Bragman challenges the line, Josh Hodge on the outside arc sells the dummy. He sells me as well as he cuts back inside. Fortunately, there's covering defence, but they're 10 metres more advanced now. As hands do it, and Lewis Berg darts through a gap, and he's on the charge. Surely tackled high. Do we see an arm out from the referee? No, we don't. But they're 30 metres out, and Ollie Robinson puts his hand up, as he dependably does, to carry through the middle. It's still in Northumbria hands. They're building nicely after that searing Lewis Berg break, as Josh Hodge puts some footwork in, darts back inside. But he's isolated, and Hartpury roar as their substitute Harry Short, the debutant from last week, makes a crucial intervention at a crucial time with 2 minutes remaining, about to tick past on the clock. He wins the penalty at the breakdown. Chamberlain sends it into the stands, and all Hartpury do is need to hang on to this ball and see it out like the pros that we've come to expect them to be.
All in.
Yeah, you know, this is where you make yourself as a quality team. You know, 2 minutes or so left. Let's see if Hartpury can stick this one out and keep Northumbria pinned, see out the game.
Well, the line out, which has been such a thorn in both sides, has once again gone awry, and Northumbria get another opportunity. But they're a long way out. They're going to want a big intervention from Lewis Berg again, as Ollie Robinson takes contact, losing his scrum hat in the process. He picks the ball up and goes again, as he's not held in the tackle. And they've got men out right here, and they find Josh Hodge, who puts a little chip over the top. Is this a bit of magic to end the game? And oh, it's not. It trickles out. 5 metres short. We've got a minute left to go. A great touch from Josh Hodge. And if the line-out wasn't already under pressure, this is the biggest throw-in of the game.
This is a massive time for Will Biggs here. Massive pressure. Let's see if he can cope with it.
Another replacement, Brian N. Cube, coming on for Hartpury. What a time to be changing the line out with 60 to go and 1 point in it. They go to the front and they take it cleanly. It's stick it up your jumper time for the men in red, as Hartpury rings round Gilman's ground. It goes back into the pocket, buried into touch, but there's still time. Still time for one more set piece. Still time for Northumbria to have one last attack. Still time for them to snatch a victory away here at the Champions Ground.
Hartpury, just step off a bit. That's good, thank you.
Joe Lashley on the ball once again. They go to a shortened 4-man line out. And they go to the back, but it's lost. It's almost poetic. That could be the game for the men in black. The line out has crippled them all night. And at the time when they need it most, it lets them down once again. And you can see by the cluster of red shirts by the breakdown, Hartpury are not looking to do anything interesting with this. They are looking to get it buried in a scrum of red shirts. Impossible for black hands to get on. so that they can run the clock down, send the ball into the stands, and spark what I'm assuming are going to be raucous celebrations for the Halloween party here tonight. But have I spoken too soon, Ben?
He's clearly in front of the ball carrier.
The referee
we don't know.
Calls a scrum for the Hartpury man being in front of the ball carrier. And when you talk about attacking platforms, a scrum in the midfield on the 22 doesn't get better than this.
I know this is dangerous here, Northumbria. You know, they get a good front foot ball off this scrum here, then, you know, who knows? This is a big all-out shove now for Hartpury. They've got to give everything they've got. Must be coming to the end of the game now on the ref's clock.
Surely the final play of the game. The scrum has been stable for Northumbria. Hartpury with a new front row. Will they have the juice to turn things around as Hartpury goes to the right? It's in the hands of Josh Hodge. He's been electric all night. He goes around Dwayne Burrows, whose defence has been imperious. And Hartpury turn it over at the very death. They put the ball out of play and they have squeaked this one. A point courtesy of the last minute nerveless kicking of Nathan Chamberlain. They turn it over, the crowd erupt, and Hartpury are the winners, 18 points to 17 in this BUCS Super Rugby fixture, brought to you by Yoti. And Ben, I'm going to have to ask you your man of the match. We got so wrapped up in the fixture, we forgot to call our man of the match. Who are you handing that accolade to in such a tight game?
I feel the Northumbria number 7, Yari also had a very good game, but I personally feel Hartpury being the winning team needs to go to someone for Hartpury. I feel Toby Venice had a really good game at 9, really marshalled the game really well, but I just think Nathan Chamberlain for me, that kick at the end to get that over, and he ran the show well, marshalled the ship, kicked well at post. I think my man of the match is Nathan Chamberlain.
Nathan Chamberlain, man of the match, the Hartpury number 10, the captain of the ship, who has steered his team around the park all game and ultimately kicked the decisive penalty to win this one by the narrowest of margins. As we go into the highlights, starting with this try, all from the footwork, the strength, the desire of Irvin Murick, finished off by the man in your jersey, Toby Venner.
Yeah, it was a brilliant try, brilliant supporting lines from both Toby and Aidan there, outstanding try.
Here he is now. Murick was a real handful for large swathes of the game. He picked up a try himself. He was almost undefendable at times, and he created this one to Toby Venner, who streaked across the line to open things up. And really, from that point, we thought that Hartpury would kick on and close the game out, but Northumbria had other ideas. And the irrepressible Jari Fantini, who was everywhere for Northumbria this evening, got a try, a scrambling try from one of the first set pieces to go to plan for Northumbria. And it was game on from here, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. You know, as soon as he went over there, it was a real big morale booster, great individual try, and then here we are again. Outstanding try, great footwork, very good individual player, lovely.
Yeah, an almost undefendable line here from Jari Fantini, who came like a bullet with all the defenders' eyes pierced in, as we see wild celebrations in the bottom left of our screen from the Hartpury faithful. It's a big club night for them tonight, and they've delivered the victory that their fans so desperately wanted, despite the efforts of Jari Fantini, the rampaging number 7. It all came down to points from the tee. And Nathan Chamberlain was the man to get the decisive kick with 4 minutes to remaining. Northumbria had their chances, but they just couldn't get themselves across the line to steal the victory at the last minute.
I think Hartpury there showed a lot of dog and showed a lot of character in coming through and winning. So I thought that was brilliant from Hartpury. Great to see out the win and see out the game. All the better that it's Halloween on a Wednesday evening as well.
Well, it's time to meet the heroes and maybe some of the villains from the game we've just seen. But in the meantime, we are going to show you some of the highlights of last week's game.
First time ball in hand for him, backed up by Leet. Good position here for Loughborough, inside 3 minutes gone, and Dan Cuthbert, not put off by that initial drop, takes the strong carry. Bit of space here for Loughborough, the 2-on-1 around the outside. Cover tackle comes in, has it been grounded? Doesn't look like it from here, but the referee thinks it is. And 3 minutes gone, Loughborough 5, Nottingham Trent 0. What a start for the hosts.
And that's
now the forwards with the big carries once again. Cuthbert's in there. Look one way then the other, and the offload as well. Here's Jared Lee, offloads to Sam Bailey, over the line. What a wonderful score. And Loughborough rampant, 18-3 in the 23rd minute. And it started with the work on the left with the backs, but it was all about the forwards in the middle. But they'll definitely want to go into half-time with as large a lead as possible and negate that advantage in the second half. In it comes from Finley. Kilgallen adjusts himself, and now it starts to go forward. Finley likes it.
Use it!
Referee says use it, so Kilgallen goes for the sticks himself, straight over the defender, and it's a third score for Loughborough.
That's a great decision from Kilgallen to go there. Saw the scrum was wheeling round. Great work from Matt Brooks, and he's just picked that over and gone straight over the line. That's unbelievable work from Loughborough.
A couple of those fancy dresses just sneaking in there as well. That's a pretty good effort in the middle there. What a time to come on in the engine room. A scrum going backwards. Keep your eye on Ollie Kilgallen here.
Tremble on some more front row as well. Loose head. Is that Trimmer?
Set!
This a carbon copy of where Kilgallen scored from in the first half. It's going forward. Penalty coming, but it won't matter at all. Ollie Kilgallen gets his second.
I think he'll be really proud of that because last few weeks I think he struggled a bit at the base, as I was mentioned before. He's done really well at controlling that, being confident at the back, and obviously it's made a bit easier with the go forward that the scrum are giving him.
And that one's been faded through the poles by Lewis. Loughborough 34, Nottingham Trent 3. Good angle of this here. The scrum half's gone high, but there was nobody in behind him.
There's no stopping him from there, really, is there?
And number 9.
Dan Lamb's in there for Trent. Harry Graham. And scrum half, of course, lovely short ball. Back says the referee, it just hasn't gone Max Craven's way today. On another day, that sticks in Graham's breadbasket. And they are under the sticks.
I think that sums Loughborough up tonight. Archie McPherson working really hard. He's putting a huge shift all night, working hard through that ruck.
And into the final throws. Just the one converted score in the second half. Is there time for any more? Josh Lewis out of nowhere dabs for the corner after another huge collision. Just bounces up there. Sam Roberts with the offload. Tom Walsh under the sticks. And Loughborough students save the best till last. It's 5 tries, it's 40 points, and it's the first victory of the season. They've dispatched Nottingham Trent. It's 39-3, the conversion to come, and that is a complete performance.
Josh Lewis looking like a serious wrecking ball coming through there, and that, if that doesn't make tries of the week, I don't know which sort of try would. Yeah, they're very good. Fair play to Trent tonight, they're seriously sticking at it. Don't look like they've quit yet.
It's been gutsy from Nottingham Trent, and they've certainly not given up. It hasn't clicked for them today. And here's Max Craven. That's more like what we expect to see from him, but Roberts pounces on this one. Has he got another one in the tank? Gets past the first tackle, dragged down, gets the offload away. Kilgallen in search of the hat-trick, even puts boot to ball. That'd be a fine in my day, but Spencer chases it. Well done, Kitano Branco. Pressure on here for Trent, could be another for Loughborough. The clock goes red, I think that'll be game over. Ollie Kilgallen thinks there might be a try here. Let's have a listen to this.
The impression was try, but he's in an offside position. So I'm thinking penalty against White on the restart, offside against 15. Roll by 16, White allowed him to be there, so it's... No try? I think
Loughborough 41, Nottingham Trent 3.
Knock on by White.
I think Trent will be keen to get this ball out. Celebrations. Nottingham Trent looked dejected. It was gutsy from them, but they've been outclassed this evening. And Loughborough students are off the mark. The first win of the season for the men in African Vidant. Full time, Loughborough 41, Nottingham Trent 3.
Highlights there from last week's game, but we've had a thriller here. Hartpury edging Northumbria by 1 point, 18 points to 7. We're joined here by Darren Fern, the Northumbria coach. Darren, a real squeaker, a tough one to lose by 1 point in the dying moments.
Yeah, it's never nice to lose a game, especially by a point, but it's not the end of the world. We leave with a point. We've got Cardiff, we've got a tough game at home next week against Cardiff, so it was a good game of rugby, wasn't it? It was good for the neutral. There's some good charges. We've got to get some stuff right, and I'm sure we will.
Good for the neutral, probably not good for a line-out operator sitting at home. What went wrong this evening?
It was just some call. I think I'll look properly at the video. I don't want to. We'll address it in house, but I think we call. They were reading us quite well, and we didn't react to that, so we didn't problem solve as maybe well as we could have done. But we'll look at that and we'll move forward.
It must be heartening though to not have a line-out platform, but to still be able to push a team like Hartpury right to the bitter end.
Yeah, I mean our line-out's probably been one of our strengths until this. Maybe it's a change of personnel. We maybe need to rep it more. But like I say, we'll look at that. But yeah, to still be in the game. But we've got some cracking players. As much as some of the lads, maybe it wasn't functioning the line-out, they certainly worked harder on the field. And I can't knock the lads' effort tonight. We'll address it and move on.
Yeah, and some very, very good performances, some sparkling performances from Josh Hodge and Yari Fantini particularly. Yeah, them two stood out. I mean, they're X-factor players, but they do a lot of the basics well, which is key, especially for student rugby players who are developing and learning. It's they do more things wrong than not. So there's some big momentum swingers in that game as a whole. But yeah, listen, like I say, I can't knock the lads. We'll get on the bus back to Newcastle tonight, and we'll take our point with us, and we'll push forward to Cardiff next week. Yeah, so you're obviously disappointed to lose, so pleased with the point, but the reaction from Hartpury and their fans, is that a reflection on how far Northumbria University Rugby's come? Well, yeah, obviously they were delighted with the point. I think my first year here we got beat, I think it's a record score, like 75-3 I think it was, and then we won here last year, so yeah, it means a lot. I mean, we've obviously got a lot of respect. They've had a big song and dance here about it, and rightly so. They've had a good win against obviously what they feel is a good team. Excellent. All right, Daz, I'll let you get off, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks, and I'm going to invite the man of the match, Nathan Chamberlain, over, and our co-coms, Ben Gordon, as well. You guys are going to have to share that, unfortunately. Right. Ben's only just about got himself accustomed to the mic. If you want to stand a bit closer to me, Nathan. A nerveless kick there at the end for you.
Yeah, you know, I do the same process, go through my process, and thankfully it went through. So yeah, I was a bit nervous. It was going wide, but the wind managed to take it in. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that kick and the win for the lads.
Well, I know that you're meant to treat it like any other kick, but when you can literally hear a pin drop here at Gilman's grounds, and not a sound to be heard almost in the county, how do you maintain a cool head?
I mean, it is quite nerve-wracking stepping up, but you know, it's one of those things as a kicker you've got to sort of blank out and you know, focus on the kick and get through the sticks. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased with it. So. And
you did that in the end. What about the performance as a whole?
I mean, you know, the lads played well. They stuck to it. There was a few errors from us in the first and second half near the end, but I think, you know, we played really well to against a strong side. You know, they had a good counter-attacking team. So you know, we worked on that, and we yeah, you know, we stuck to it throughout the end, and thankfully we got the win at the end. So that was good.
So beating Northumbria, where do you rank that on your pathway to BUCS glory at the end of the season?
I think it's up there. You know, it's a fantastic crowd here as well. So you know, we did it for us and for them, and for everyone watching on the live stream. But you know, it's up there, and hopefully we can go to Twickenham and win it.
But you're not going to lose your heads right away. There's plenty of work to be done up until the very end of the season.
Yeah, plenty of work to be done. You know, that's just a stepping stone, and you know, we want to. We look at our performances and we go step by step. So onto our next game, which I think is Durham here as well. So we're looking forward to that.
Excellent stuff. Well, Nathan, you are the Yoti man of the match. Gone are the days of the enormous turquoise champagne bottles, but you get a plaque instead. So congratulations. Thank you very much. Well played. If you just pass that to Ben, we're going to get a final word. Ben, you're watching from the sidelines with me for the duration of the game. Very anxious stuff for you. Difficult to watch, but delighted with the result, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. I think it's a massive scalp for us to beat Northumbria, and especially the way we did. To see out the game at the end as well, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Fair play to the lads. Fully deserved.
And when are you going to be back?
Preferably in about 2 weeks' time, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully my rehab goes well, so hopefully 2 weeks.
And it looks like you might have to fight for your jersey as well, with Toby Venner crossing again for another meat pie.
I know, outstanding. I said earlier he was up there man of the match, doing really well, playing really well, so healthy competition, nothing wrong with that.
You specifically said to me before the match there's no way you were going to give it to Toby Venner, so I'm glad that a man who sticks to his word.
I would never say that.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us, Ben. We're going to wrap things up there. Thank you so much. So guys, a real nerve shredder down here at Gilman's Ground on All Hallows Eve. Northumbria came knocking and gave Hartpury an awful fright, but it's the men in red who leave with the treats. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back next week with Cardiff Met versus Durham. Another thriller, no doubt, coming to you live down the stream. But until then, it's good night.